10 days till I leave for my trip, and I was about to do an oil change on the bike. So I thought maybe I should do a how-to video for a 94 XR 650. So yeah, here's a couple of things you'll need. Alright, so on the Honda, the dipstick is right there, and there's the first drain plug, and that guy's the second one. So before you get started, make sure you have everything, and a little rag for any spills, a little oil container so you don't make a big mess. Make sure you buy oil before you drain your oil. Oil filter, I like to go with K&N, good stuff. And the oil is AMSOIL synthetic. I like to stick to synthetic just because people say it works good. I've had good experiences with it. So there's that. Your tools, wrenches would do, but get yourself some sockets, an extension. Well, at least with this bike you need an extension, and a hex wrench set so you can access the oil filter. And if you've got any kind of doubts or anything, make sure you look at your service manual or your repair manual, whatever you want to call it. And you know, they usually have a section with engine oil replacement and where the filler is and where the drain plugs are, where your I don't know, where your oil filter goes and all that. So yeah, just a few things that you need. Alright, let's get started. So before you start draining the oil, you want to make sure that you run the bike for a little bit, just get the oil heated up and warmed up at least, just for a couple of minutes maybe. That's where it's a lot more fun, and you know, you can get all of it out pretty easily. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So when the bike was heating up, it's always a good idea to just go over the whole thing and see if you've got any cracked hoses or any leaks anywhere, and see if all your lights are working, your turn signals. I mean, it's kind of a daily checklist, but I'm kind of lazy. I like to do this stuff like whenever I change my oil or when I'm working on something else. I did find a couple of my screws are missing, so I'll have to make a note of that. So we'll get started with this oil change. Alright, so first of all you want to loosen this guy, the dipstick up here. It can be a pain. I've got small hands and it's kind of a pain to get it. But get that loosened up. And then come down here. It's a 14 millimeter. And start unscrewing that. You want to bring the down tube first. And that's exactly why you need a little shop rag. So after that, the down tube's done draining, you're going to come to the side drain plug and just give it a good yank. And get your little catch bucket thing. Pull it out. Let that thing drain. Oh, it's always nice to have a little screen in there just in case you drop your nut in there or something. You don't have to fish around. So try to buy one of these with the net on it, or the little screen thing, and just just want to let this drain now as long as you can and get all that bullshit out. So while the rest of the oil is draining down there, you just want to come over to the other side and change your oil filter. A lot of people say your oil filters can last for maybe 2 or I've even heard 3 oil changes, but I don't know. Just to be on the safe side, these things are what? Let's see. The K&Ns are $6.99, $7. I think it's a small cost to make sure that all your oil is getting filtered, especially with an older bike like this. It doesn't have many miles on it, but everything that's going on in there, you're going to get metal shavings and all sorts of little contaminants that you might have to deal with. So I think it's important. So I change it every oil change. So your oil filter is located in here. Just take a hex screw and loosen these 3 bolts over here. Oh, and you're going to get some oil out of here too. Forgot about that. Okay. So we've got the oil filter out of there. The way this sits in here is it's got one side with this rubber bushing, or the rubber seal, and the other side you've got kind of a little notch built in over there. That's for the spring that sits in there. So you want to put the notch, the empty notch side, facing inwards, and the rubber seal side outwards. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, forgot to tell you, these caps have a passageway so the oil can travel through them, and they're only going to fit one way. So make sure you find the right way to go on, and drop your cover. Try not to do that. Is that a cat? Oh. Hey, Todd. See? I wasn't kidding about the rags, was I? Yeah. So, this time, all your oil should be, at least all of it should be out. So, what you want to do is, you're going to grab your bolts. Make sure you clean them off, just so you get any kind of debris and stuff off of them. And you want to inspect your washers or seals, whatever you have on them. Make sure those are nice and tight. Next, just got to fill it up. Since the down tube holds most of the oil, you can't put both quarts in there. This bike takes 2 quarts. So what you want to do is get a funnel, or make one, and pour 1 quart in there and let it idle for a few minutes. Sorry, my camera ran out of battery in the middle of that clip, but all I did was add a quart of oil and put the dipstick back on, screw it on, and run it for about a minute or 2, let the oil circulate. Don't run it for too long. And you just want to let it idle, don't rev it or anything, and try to keep the bike standing up straight, as straight as possible. And then after you run it for a minute or 2, you just want to take the dipstick out, add another quart of oil. Well, in my case, another quarter of oil, because it takes 2 quarts total. And you fill it up and make sure your levels are correct, and put the dipstick back on and let it idle for a little bit.
just make sure you clean out uh, all the drain plugs and the everything around it, and also around the um, oil filter cap. That way, after you run it for a little bit, you can check for any kind of leaks. If you need to, you could tighten up the some of the bolts as needed. So I guess that should do it. And hit me up with any kind of questions or whatever you have. Right there.